Some time has passed, we don't know how much time. So Shanai says, then the Brahmin Janusoni approached the Blessed One. Okay, so Brahmin Janusoni visits the Buddha. So this time he visits the Buddha and he tells the Buddha the same thing. He says, okay, I met this Pilotika, and this Pilotika has said this wonderful thing about you. Pilotika says he praises the 4 footprints of the Tathagata. Right? Then, what does the Buddha say? Look at 9.3. When this was said, the Blessed One said this to the Brahmin Janusoni. Okay, this is the Buddha talking here. He says, now Brahmin, to that extent, the parable of the elephant's footprint is neither fully detailed nor complete. There you are, see? The Buddha doesn't agree. The Buddha said, no, this is not complete. He didn't say it is false, he said, not complete. And Brahmin, as regards how the parable of the elephant's footprint is fully detailed and complete, listen now to it, Brahmin. Pay close attention, I will speak. Right? So, what the Buddha is saying is the Pilotika's praise of the Buddha in terms of 4 footprints, because the Buddha is a good speaker, able to convince all the 4 classes. That's not what the Buddha said, that's not why I teach the Dharma. Not to just win a debate. So he said, now I'll tell you, what really are these footprints, these footprints? So the real teaching starts now. 3 kinds of hoofprints. First, the Buddha talks about elephants. Here we see the Buddha knows a lot about elephants. He was born as a prince. So this is a bit of introduction, preparation for us to know what he's talking about. He is going to, number 1, prove the first statement wrong. The first statement by Pilotika is that the parable is a hunter goes into the forest, he sees a big hoofprint on the ground. He says, this must be that of a big bull elephant. Remember? The Buddha is going to say, that's not right. So this is where you begin to see the Buddha is very sharp. He knows more about elephants than Pilotika. Pilotika must be a city man, but never gone to forest hunting before, or never dealt with elephants. Okay. Look at 10.2. Suppose Brahmin, a skilled elephant forester, were to enter an elephant forest and were to see in the elephant forest a great elephant hoofprint, long and wide. However, as a skilled forester, he would not come to the conclusion, sir, what a great bull elephant this is. Notice, the Buddha said he would not at once say it is the big bull elephant, male elephant. He said, no, he won't say that. Why is that? For Brahmin, there are in the forest cow elephants called Vamanika, she-dwarfs, that have large hooves. The hoofprint could belong to any of them. Notice that? So you say it could be a female elephant, but this female elephant has a big hoofprint too. He follows the hoofprints and then sees the elephant forest, another hoofprint, long and wide. So follows them. And grazing signs on high. So in other words, you can see there are like cuts in the tree trunk, okay? Because the elephant, when they bite those leaves, the tusks will scratch the tree trunk, so you can see marks that scratches there. So he says he will notice those scratch marks in the trees. However, as a skilled elephant forester, he would not come to the conclusion, sir, what a great bull elephant this is. Right? So he wouldn't get, even he sees the scratch mark very high in the tree, he would not say it's a male elephant. Why is that? For Brahmin, there are in the elephant forest cow elephants called Uchakalarika, the tall prong tuskers. Prong tuskers means their tusks are very long. Okay? So this is another kind of female elephant. They have big hooves, and they also have this long tusks. So this elephant forester continues, 10.6. He follows the hoof prints and then sees the elephant forest. In the elephant forest, hoof print long and wide, and grazing marks on high. In other words, tusk scrapings on high. Okay? So he sees even higher still, he sees some more marks. No? However, as a skilled elephant forester, he will not come to the conclusion, sir, what a great bull elephant this is. So he still wouldn't say bull elephant. Why is that? For Brahmin, there are in the elephant forest cow elephants known as Ucha Kaneruka, the tall butt-tuskers cow elephants. This is another kind of female elephants that have large hooves, hoof print that belong to any of them. And then he follows again the footsteps of the elephant footprints, and then he again sees some more marks high up. No? High branches are broken also. 10.8, with broken branches. 10.9, he follows the hoof prints. Following them, he sees in the elephant forest a large hoof print, long and wide, and he sees the bull elephant standing about, walking about, or standing, or sitting, or reclining at the foot of a tree, or in the open air. You notice the wordings here. Since at the foot of a tree or in the open air, this is like a meditator. Then only he comes to the conclusion, this indeed is that bull elephant. Now you notice the Buddha's parable here, goes to detail. He says, it's not right, you just see the hoof print and you immediately come to the conclusion, it is the hoof print. You must investigate, you must follow step by step. And you see there are other female elephants which also have big footprint like that. Now when you follow the footprints and then you finally actually see the big bull elephant really there, then you can say it's a footprint of a bull elephant. It could well be the footprint of any of the other 3 or 4 kinds of cow elephants. Okay, this is the introduction only, okay? Any questions so far? 11. Even so, Brahmin, there arises here in the world the Tathagata, the Buddha, an Arhat who is awakened, and so on. So it said there is a Buddha. So the Buddha teaches the Dharma, and then people listen, they renounce the world, they become monks, and so on. Okay, so there is the Buddha in the world. Okay, this is up to section 12. And then this is where the Buddha begins his teaching. You have to be patient. Now he's starting the complete teaching. He's going to teach Janusoni the whole of the, what's called the gradual way, the Samanyapada. Okay? The complete 3 trainings. 3 trainings, remember? Training in moral virtue, training in mental cultivation, training in wisdom. Why does he do this to Janusoni? Because Janusoni is ready, he's intelligent enough, and he is patient enough. So this part you're quite familiar with, I'll just summarize for you. So section A, first training, cultivation of moral virtue. So the Buddha says when someone becomes a monk, when the person renounces the world, what does he do? So here the Buddha is also talking about the purpose and the duties of a monk. He says, having abandoned destruction of life, he abstains from destroying life. And so on, right? Next rule, number 2, he gives up taking and not given. Number 3, having abandoned incelibacy, he lives a celibate life. Right? In other words, this is the monk, he lives a life of a pure life. Because they are monks, they renounce life, so they have no sex at all. Then right speech, okay, that he abandons false speech, practices right speech, the truth. 5, he gives up divisive speech, waking up people. And then this is brackets, bracket 6, he gives up abusive speech. he speaks pleasant speech. Bracket 7, having abandoned idle chatter, he practices useful talk. Okay? And then bracket 8 is all rules, the early rules of the monks. He abstains from damaging sins and plant life. And then you have other rules like number 9, he takes only 1 meal a day. And then he does not dance or sing, music, watching shows. Notice here, very basic rules. Monks don't dance, monks don't play music, especially in public. Monks don't watch TV shows. Okay? That's for today, that is. Next one, he abstains from wearing garlands and beautifying himself with scent and makeup. 12, he does not sit on high luxurious seats, beds and seats. 13, he abstains from accepting gold and silver. That has nothing to do with money. And then the rule 14 to 20 talks about doesn't accept any commodity, any gold, silver, grain, raw meat, women and girls as slaves. He does not accept any fields or property. Right? So when you donate land, you don't donate to a monk, you donate to the community of monks. Okay? The monks have no property. The monk doesn't run messages for others. 16, doesn't run errands for others. Number 17, he does not indulge in buying and selling. By those who say that the Buddha did not introduce a rule of money, you should quote this also. The Buddha says, the monk does not indulge in buying and selling. So it's obvious. You can use money. Okay? 18, he has no dealing with false scales, false metals, false measures, so he doesn't get about any kind of trading. 19, he abstains from bribery, deception, and fraud. 20, he abstains from wounding, persecuting, imprisonment, highway robbery, plunder, and violence. So the monk does not show violence in any way. Okay, so this is the basic idea of the moral conduct of a monk. Very basic. That means it's early time. You find the monks were very well disciplined. Then part 2 is the second training. Part B, cultivation of samadhi. He is 14, section 14. He is content with robes to protect his body and with arms full to sustain his belly. And wherever he goes, he sets out taking only these with him. So a monk doesn't go around lugging a big luggage bag or a truckload of stuff. It's just with his arms full, maybe his bag, okay? He carries just his basic stuff. That's why monks love small little recorders, small little phones, not the tiny things, because they want to clutter themselves. Even those things are extra. And this is a very beautiful verse, okay? Here, just as a bird, wherever it goes, flies with its wings as its only burden, so too he is content with robes to protect his body and with arms full to sustain his belly. And whenever he goes, wherever he goes, he takes only these with him, only his robes and his bow. Okay, that's all he does. So he moves very freely, very lightly. Okay? Then sense restraint, section 15. Yeah? So now the Buddha says, okay, how does the monk prepare for meditation? He is guarded in his eyes, when he sees form, ears, when he hears sound. Then number 3, he guards his nose regarding smells. Number 4, he guards his tongue regarding taste. He guards his body regarding touches and feelings. Bracket 6, he guards his mind regarding thoughts, sense restraint. Next section 16, mindfulness, full awareness. Section 16. While going forward or back, he clearly knows what he's doing. All the action that he does, even wearing robes, going to the toilet, sleeping, waking, the monk is very mindful, very mindful. Okay? Always there, present. Why? Because the monk, the nature is very peaceful. And when you look at him, you also feel peaceful. 17. He possessing this aggregate of noble virtue. That's the first part. A. And possessing his aggregate of noble sense restraint, that's B. Possessing his noble mindfulness and full awareness. Okay, so in other words, he has prepared himself by keeping the precepts. He has prepared himself by restraining his senses, and he's got mindfulness. 17, the fourth line. He seeks out a secluded dwelling, a quiet place, a forest, the foot of a tree, a mountain, a glen, a hillside cave, a channel ground, a jungle grove, the open air, a heap of straw. These are places good for meditation. Returning from his alms round after his meal, he sits down, crosses his legs, holds his body erect, and establishes mindfulness before him. Meditates. So after he's taken his alms food, he meditates. Abandoning the 5 mental hindrances. What are they? Covetousness, that means desiring for things of other people. He gives that up. He abandons ill will and anger, second hindrance. Hindrance 1 and 2, the opposite of each other. He abandons sloth and torpor, sleepiness. Number 4, he abandons restlessness and remorse. He lets go of the past and the future. And he lets go of spiritual doubt. All the 5 hindrances are gone. Now once you see this passage, 5 hindrances are gone means jhana is coming in. Okay, there you are, next section. Now the Buddha talks about the hoof prints, the Buddha's footprint, the real one. Section 19. The Buddha's footprint. This one, now he's going to say what really is the Buddha's footprint, the Tathagata's footprint. Okay? You see, remember just now, Pilotaka defines the Buddha's footprint as being able to knock down any one of the 4 classes. He said, no, that's not it. Now, what is the real footprint of the Tathagata, the Buddha's footprint? Number 1 is the first jhana. The Buddha is able to attain first jhana. Then the first jhana is explained in detail. Right? I've done this many times before, so you can look up. He says, it is for this you should show faith. This is the one that the Buddha is able to attain the first jhana. You can say 19.3. Yeah? You can come to the conclusion, the Blessed One. He says, even this, not yet. You don't come to the conclusion yet that the Blessed One is the fully self-awakened one. The Dharma is well spoken by the Blessed One. The community of disciples is well practiced. Not yet. Okay? The Buddha said, not yet. Then the second jhana, the Buddha says, okay, I can also attain second jhana, but even this. This first one is just like what they call scrapings of the elephant tusk, but still not yet the real footprints. Second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, also not yet. So Buddha is saying this is not enough. Okay? Yeah. And then it goes on. Can you follow so far? I'm not going too fast, I hope. Okay, so after the 4 jhanas, the meditator, if he does it properly, is able to recall past lives, right? So this is the first knowledge. First knowledge, ability to recall past lives. Section 23. And this is given in detail here, which I will read to you. I've already done this before. So the Buddha says, look at 23.2. 23.2. This too, Brahmin, is called the Tathagata's footprint, or the Tathagata's resort, or the Tathagata's scrapings and tasks. However, the noble disciple does not yet come to the conclusion the Blessed One is fully self-awakened and so on. So notice here, the Buddha says, yeah, you can call this footprints, yes, but you won't come to the conclusion the Blessed One is fully self-awakened, the Dharma is well spoken by the Blessed One, and the community of disciples well practiced. Not yet. Footprints, yes. It's like you follow the steps in the forest, So, yeah, you follow, but not there yet. Footprints, yes, but not there yet. You have not found the elephant yet. You get the idea? You better say footprint, yes, but not the elephant head, something like that. You follow?
Meaning that maybe we have to take the dharma, may not necessarily.
Not enlightenment. Yeah. Doesn't mean you attain enlightenment awakening. Not yet. Okay? Because the elephant, the real figure is yet to come. You get it? Okay. Then number 2. Next section 24, correct? Is the knowledge of death and rebirth. This is the divine eye. This is the knowledge of karma, how karma works for people, how they do bad, suffer bad, and so on. So even this, the Buddha said, this, you can call this the Tathagata's footprint, but you cannot declare the three wonderful virtues, 3 wonderful things about the 3 jewels. Not yet. And then comes the third knowledge, the destruction of mental influxes. Actually, this is the knowledge that brings awakening. So, look at 25. With the mind thus concentrated, purified, and bright, unblemished, free from defects, pliant, malleable, steady, and utterly unshakable, the monk directs and inclines it to the knowledge of the destruction of the mental influxes. He knows as it really is, this is suffering. This is the arising of suffering. This is the ending of suffering. This is the path to the ending of suffering. In other words, he realizes the 4 noble truths. He knows that as it really is, these are the mental influxes. This is the arising of the influxes. This is the ending of the influxes. This is the path to the ending of the influxes. Influxes are, whatever goes to our 6 senses, and it will trouble us, bring us rebirth. So all this, the person understands, and he lets them go. What does Buddha say about this? Look at 25.3. This too, Brahmin, is called the Tathagata's footprint, or the Tathagata's resort, or the Tathagata's scrapings, task marks. However, the noble disciple does not yet come to the conclusion the Blessed One is the fully self-awakened one, and so on. Not yet. Because it's just the knowledge of it. Okay? Now we're coming closer. 26. Thus knowing, thus seeing. Notice, thus knowing, thus seeing. In other words, the knowledge has arisen. Then the meditator sees it, understands it. The mind is released from the influx of sensual desire. Sensual desire totally given up. The mind is released from existence, influx of existence, no more rebirth. The mind is released from ignorance because it understands the Four Noble Truths completely. With the release, there is knowledge, liberated am I. He knows that birth is ended, the holy life has been lived. Done is that which needs to be done. There is nothing further beyond this. This too, Brahmin, is called the Tathagata's footprint, or the Tathagata's resort, or the Tathagata's scrapings. Thus far, Brahmin, the noble disciple comes to the conclusion the Blessed One is the fully self-awakened one. The Dharma is well spoken by the Blessed One. The community of monks, the community of disciples is well praised. Thus far, Brahmin, is the parable of the elephant's footprint detailed and complete. So finally, what does it mean? The person becomes fully awakened. That full awakening only at that point you can say the story is finished. That you can declare the 3 Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha sentences. That teaching is complete, Dhamma is complete, Sangha is complete. So, how many footprints has the Buddha given here? 8 altogether, not just 4. 8. Yeah? So, for each of those, you count, first there are the four jhanas, right?
Four jhanas.
And then the three knowledges,
7.
7. 8 is the last one is the awakening, the knowledge of destruction of knowledge. Yeah, yeah. That if you include the arahant itself, we have 9.
So,
Something like 9 steps. Okay.
The 3 knowledges were
Three knowledges is section. You can see the word three knowledges there. Can you see page? Can you see 23? Yeah, it has 3 knowledges. All right. 23 knowledges.
you were saying from the beginning we were talking about Western, what the sutra, the Western.
That's about translations. The difficulties with translation. Because long ago, 100 years ago, the Westerners who translated the suttas, they were not Buddhists, they were scholars. They translated from a scholar point of view. So they translate only the words, so they don't really know the actual meaning of the words. So, for example, someone translate nirvana as extinction, something like that. Or sometimes even the words self, soul, they couldn't decide what it means. What is it, Rana? Saying something?
The 3 jhanas, the 4 jhanas, plus 3 knowledges is 7, and then final knowledge is 8. And the rest is the 9.
That was the final one.
See, because if you look at the sutta, the 4th knowledge alone doesn't bring awakening. Because there's something like one more step on it. Okay? It's like the undergraduate, one more step. Then after that the person becomes liberated. That's the 9th one. Okay? So 8 are the mere steps, if you like. The 9 is the elephant itself. That's one way of looking at it. That's another way in terms of counting and numbers.
so actually, all the way up, short of final liberation, mere knowledge. Not here, because it says, okay, if you got the knowledge of the destruction of mental refluxes on Sawa, he says he knows as it really is also the form of the truth, the mental refluxes.
Yes.
So if it repeats there, he knows at it really is.
Yeah.
In other words, it's no longer an intellectual thing.
True.
It is a realization, a being that these are true.
The operational word there is knows. Knows.
Yeah.
For example, I know the Dharma, but I'm not awakened. Not awakened yet.
No, but he says he knows that it as
Yeah.
it
Yes.
really is.
Yeah, right view. So maybe probably be a non-returner. Probably a non-returner. Not yet Arahant. Not yet Arahant. Then you look at verse 26.
Yes.
Verse 26, the operational word is release. Released. Not just knowing. Released. So knowing alone is not enough. It's just like, for example, I know the way to a certain place, but I've never been there before. So once I've been there, journey is complete. That's the meaning.
So all the way is just mere intellectual knowledge.
And not
Until
necessarily, yeah.
until the mind is released.
You can see 3 kinds of knowledge. The first one intellectual, second kind is spiritual, and third one is transcendental. Because in the case of 25, this person knows the Four Noble Truths as it is, so that would be actually string-winner, one-string-winner, non-returner. Okay? But they know the Four Noble Truths as it is in some depth. In the case of the Arahant, was totally released by that knowledge. Okay? It's just like all the undergraduates, they know the stuff, that they're studying in their course, but it's the professor who has graduated in teaching, something like that.
You said the 4 footprints and the small suffering is the 4 noble truths.
No.
So you're saying it's 4 jhanas.
4 jhanas and 3 trainings. The 3 knowledges, sorry. And then number 1, the knowledge of the extinction of the influxes. And then after that, last one is liberation. So knowing alone helps, yes, but one more step, just one more little step. Just matter of time, it's not that saying the person will be enlightened.
Let's say if one were to find out where all this comes from, which sutra, this one to
You go online, and you go to the Dhamma website. Okay, it's all there. You can ask Rana how to do it. Actually, if you have a computer, you just put the dhammafera.org, and you look for it. Everything is there. Everything up to volume 46. I'm working on volume 47.
Actually, there's still a big step between all that undefined liberation. 26.1 says, thus knowing, thus seeing, the mind is released.
Yes.
So, maybe not. I know I see, but not necessarily released.
In this case, the Buddha is talking about the Arahant. He's talking about the Arahant.
Okay.
So this is the definition of Arahant.
Because when I first attended the Buddhist class, I started with 4 Noble Truths.
Yes.
So now I attended the Sutra, and so the 4 Noble Truths is from this Sutta. Something like that.
Four Noble Truths, yeah, you can say it's mentioned, but not in great detail. The Four Noble Truths, the detailed one would be actually, okay, for simplicity, we can say Dhammacakka or Dhammasutta, the first discourse. The first discourse of the Buddha gives you a list of the Four Noble Truths. But you want detail, you go to the Satcha Vibhanga Sutta. Satcha Vibhanga Sutta, analysis of the truth. The title itself tells you the truths are analyzed, Satcha Vibhanga. It's also in the Majjhima Nikaya. So this is where, as I said, you can email me, we'll send all this to you. You can just say, can you give me the suttas and talk about following truth in detail? We'll send it to you. If you don't have a computer, maybe you can put a little drive for you. Okay?
The 3 knowledges are from the Vajrayana Sutta.
3 knowledges is all over the place. It's very common. It's called a stock message. Okay? So,
You were saying as that you were calling the Buddha as that the elephant and the Tathagata. What suddenly changed?
that's because the person shows. Okay, in this case, Tathagata is very often the name the Buddha himself would use. Okay? So it's called the Tathagata's footprint. They normally wouldn't say the Buddha's footprint. Well, it's quite rude, rather, Yeah, it's just like this respected monk comes here, you say, oh, here comes that monk. It doesn't sound right, isn't it? In our idiom, see? We say, here comes the venerable, or here comes Bhante.
Right.
So the word Tathagata also is like that. It's more respectable. We say, the Tathagata's footprint. The Buddha himself may use the word Buddha, you see. Yeah, the Buddha refers himself sometimes to Tathagata. Sometimes he will probably use the word Buddha also, but not very common.
Tathagata means?
One who has thus come. When the time is right, he comes. But you can interpret Tathagata in many ways. You can also translate as one who goes away at the right time. In other words, when all the defilements are gone, you are awakened. By then, he goes away. So by his own nature, he is awakened. Okay, so in Chinese, we rula, does come. Does come. He has come naturally, uninvited. He's not a prophet of anyone.
Here on page 117, presence of the Dharma, who's speaking here from 11?
What is the number? Passage number?
11.
11.
Is it the Buddha himself speaking? Referring to himself?
Yes, the Buddha. Yes, the Buddha is speaking.
This is in the third person.
Yeah, there you are. The Buddha normally speaks in the third person.
So this is Buddha.
Often enough, yes. Sometimes he speaks in the first person also. So here is clearly the Buddha is talking about that the Dharma is available. Okay? So at the end of this, finally, Janaswami is very impressed. Janaswami is impressed, he takes refuge, right? So you see, section 27 is the closing section. When this was said, the Brahmin Janaswami said, this is the Blessed One. Wonderful Bhante, wonderful Bhante. Just as if one were to place upright what had been overturned, or were to reveal what was hidden, or were to show the way to one who was lost, or were to hold up a lamp in the dark, so that those with eyes could see forms. In the same way, the Blessed One has, in numerous ways, made the Dharma clear. I go to the Blessed One for refuge, and to the Dharma, and to the community of arms. And there's another interesting part about Janaswami. He's taken refuge many times. At the end of every sutta, he takes refuge. I don't know, more than 10 times, I think.
But he remains Brahmin.
Yeah, he remains.
He remains
it's not
Brahman.
Yeah. Brahmin.
Brahmin, yeah.
So here, he declares faith. That means it's a kind of, we say, it's a conventional taking of refuge or social taking of refuge. So it's one level. Okay? So many times, so we cannot assume just because someone takes refuge is a stream winner. I don't think we can do that. He's taken refuge so many times. So in other words, he's just he's praising the Buddha. He says, oh, I really accept him. So this is a conventional way of showing he accepts the Buddha's teaching. So this is a very interesting thing I discovered in the suttas.
But it's still unenlightened.
No. So this is where I've written something about this in the article on refuge. Okay, different kinds of refuges. So again, if you like to know more about that, please email me and I'll send it to you. One thing I have to tell you, the translation becomes so huge now. It's not easy to look for things. So the index is there. Look at the index. But however, the moment you go to the sutta, there are guidelines. Footnotes are there. They'll tell you, go here, go there. There's some of the numbers are very important. They'll tell you where to go and build up your understanding. And then you will come across something you like. Make a note of that. Have your own notebook. You say, okay, this topic, write down the SD number. That's why the SD number is very important. The SD number tells you where all this information are located. The next time you want to give a talk or you want to go deeper into all these topics, you can connect all these teachings. And you find that over the years, this information becoming clearer and clearer. Sometimes I will expand older translations or even revise older translations as this new understanding become clearer. And these are really beautiful revelations because the suttas speak for themselves. Okay?
So it looks like Pilotika did not absorb any of his teachings.
Yeah, I mean from this sutta.
Mesmerized by his oratory skills.
Doesn't that reflect? Yeah, doesn't that reflect today, isn't it? I mean, today a lot of people have that kind of attitude, Pilatika's attitude, right? They praise teachers because they're well. Yeah, but we don't know because we know from the suttas all these good guys sooner or later they will attain some level of awakening. His story is not known because there are suttas which are still missing, so we don't know what happened to him. Pilotika, yeah. Surely something good must happen to him, you see. So that part is not in this sutta. Here in the sutta, Janaswami is the key figure. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Buddha was saying that for this line, the Blessed One is fully revelation and the Dharma is well spoken and so on. So we also do this recitation every time we talk about puja.
Yeah. That is a reflection. We are reflecting what the Buddha says. We're not saying we're enlightened. We are saying this is what the Buddha says. In this sutta, the Buddha says the Dharma is complete with these three jewels in this way. So we are just saying that's what the Buddha said when we recite the 3 lines. Okay?
Sorry, say that again?
That the Dharma is complete with the Buddha awakening. Everything is there. Because if the Buddha is not awakened, then it's not right for us to say what they call Arahant Sama Sambuddho. You cannot say the Buddha is Sama Sambuddho, he's not awakened, you see. And if Arahant Sama Sambuddho doesn't exist, there is no Dhamma,
It's not there.
Swakato Bhagata Dhammo, see. And because there's no such Dharma, you cannot say there is the saints, Supatipanno, Bhagavata, Sarvaka Sangho, but because the Buddha is fully awakened, and also Arahats, then you can say that. So we are just repeating what the Buddha has taught. So when you reflect on 3 lines, you can also remember the sutta. Okay? Then the teaching is complete in itself. So this is quite a long, interesting sutta. I'm happy you all managed to stay on and don't give up listening to the sutta.
Essentially, this is the whole essence of the discourses in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yes. In a sense, the meaning of these longer discourses are like
Yeah, I mean, it's the three.
variations on the same theme.
Yeah, it's the three, Sila, Samadhi,
Correct.
and then the 3 knowledges and the 4 noble truths.
Yeah. In fact, this is
It's a real nutshell.
hallmark of many of the Majjhima Sutras. Majjhima Sutras have this kind of approach. They are very long, and their pattern is Sila Samadhi Prajna, with introduction and conclusion. Okay? And then in the Tika, of course, all kinds of stories, very long, impressive stories. And then Samyutta, some of them are shorter, they are more teaching oriented, just certain specific themes, very specific themes. And Uttara is even simpler, more meant for laymen, very short teachings. Usually, you must know the other 3 Nikayas, especially Majjhima and Samyutta. You must know Majjhima and Samyutta Nikaya because the Uttara tend to be short. But then again, no need to worry, because nowadays you read those modern translations, they always tell you what this means, where to look up for details. Okay? Definitely, in the Sutta discovery, we don't assume you know everything. So whenever there's a new term, whenever we think something is difficult there's always a footnote. You have the introductions, okay? The footnotes. So, like I said, that's why it's good to study one sutta and just follow all the footnotes and the trail as you go along, see what interests. Okay, let us close the reflection. When we are gathered in the Dharma, we have a chance to look through the window back with the Buddha's time as if he has spoken the Dharma himself. That is why the notion of early Buddhism is very helpful. We're not listening to what some great teachers after the Buddha's time said, although that may help us sometimes. But here we have the original teachings by themselves, and we have the ability to understand those teachings. So in a sense, we do not really need so many commentaries by others who are not awakened, except where we can use these tools to make the effort ourselves and really enjoy the sutta. Cultivate joy in learning the suttas. Then the suttas connect with us. Then comes the knowledge. Then comes the understanding. Reflecting in this way is very good mental karma. By the power of such karma, may we aspire in this life itself to be strong as the Buddha has taught us and inspired us to do. And by this aspiration, which is also another good karma, may we attain joy and happiness in this life itself. May we prosper, be free from sickness, and cultivate great wisdom and liberation by aspiring to be strenuous in this life itself. In this moment of peace, let us send out our loving kindness to all the beings in this place, to all the people who worked hard to get this place running, all those people who have been kind to us, and to all the Dharma teachers and Dharma workers, may they be well and happy. Let us also send out our loving kindness to our loved ones, people who are important to us. And of course, may you all be well and happy too. And also our loving kindness to all those whom the Dharma have not touched, that they may come closer and see the Dharma for themselves. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu.